Hello and welcome back to another video on high altitude investing. So today I'm talking about Bitcoin Cash and what price action I'm expecting for this coin in the near future. So let's get right into it. So as you guys can see, I have Bitcoin Cash over here on the left and Litecoin over here on the right. And the reason I'm showing you this is because of how similar this early day accumulation cycle on Litecoin is to Bitcoin Cash today. As you can see, there's a lot of similarities between this early accumulation on Litecoin and what Bitcoin Cash is doing right now. And basically, as a result of this accumulation pattern, you can see Litecoin went straight vertical. So after it had its big bear market and sideways accumulation, then Litecoin broke bullish and went all the way to a new all-time high and really went completely vertical in price. Now, Bitcoin Cash is set up to do the exact same thing. As you can see, we do have the exact same accumulation structure, and Bitcoin Cash is seeing bullish price action off of its local lows, and we are starting to see the early signs of a big recovery for this coin. So what I think is going to happen here for Bitcoin Cash is a very vertical move all the way to a new all-time high, and we'll really see the fruition of all of this accumulation that's been going on for multiple years. Now, a lot of people, when they see something like this, they wonder, well, how is this possible? How could this happen? It's been down for so long. It hasn't had a big bull market in a long time. Where is it going to get the money to do this? And the simplest answer to that question is the total crypto market cap. Crypto is getting ready for mass adoption. We've already started to see the early signs of this coming for crypto, and Bitcoin Cash is certainly not going to be left behind with massive institutions accumulating this coin. So you have to understand that as the total crypto market cap increases, a lot of top projects will completely skyrocket and go nuts and vertical as crypto is mass adopted by the public and as market capitalization starts to come into these coins at a super fast rate. So what we'd want to see here for Bitcoin Cash is Bitcoin Cash to continue to break out on the smaller time frames. We'll zoom in and take a look at that in just a minute. But just understand, in order for us to go vertical in the bigger time frames, we need to continue to break out on those smaller time frames and push up through resistance. Now, a lot of people have been asking me, how high can Bitcoin Cash go? How vertical can it really go when it breaks bullish here in the bigger picture? So to do that, we just measure from the bottom of the cycle up to the top and back down to the bottom again. And we do the same thing with Bitcoin Cash. So we measured Litecoin first, and now we're going to measure Bitcoin Cash. And then essentially you stretch the chart out and you start to look for these higher extensions. Over here on the right, you can see Litecoin went all the way up to the 6618 Fibonacci extension, which was around $371 for Litecoin. Now, if Bitcoin Cash goes straight vertical, a $20,000 Bitcoin Cash wouldn't surprise me. And if we really are getting mass adopted for crypto, then even the 6618 is possible before a major bear market. So in the bigger picture here, we do have a lot of potential profits. All of these higher extensions are 100% possible. Once we get above our old all-time high, the sky really is the limit. You can see just how high Litecoin went, all the way up to those higher extensions before Litecoin had a major bear market. So this is what I'm planning for Bitcoin Cash. Is a very vertical move all the way up to these higher extensions. Nobody knows for sure which extension it will stop at. It could go to the 6618, the 5618, the 4618. It could even stop at the 3618, or it could go higher than all of these. But we do have a general idea that the bullish price action of Bitcoin Cash will take us to a new all-time high. And once we break bullish out of an accumulation pattern like this, it's going to be very vertical in nature and go way higher than a lot of people expect. So the sky really is the limit for this coin. Watch for some big movement in the bigger picture as we break above resistance on the smaller time frames. So let's talk a little bit about the smaller time frames and what's happening on those. So starting off on the daily candlesticks, you can see a very strong recovery on Bitcoin Cash from our local low here at $255. We've started to see some upside here, and we're showing strength in this market. Especially over the past 24 hours, we've started to see money come into this thing pretty quickly right here, and people are getting excited. So it wouldn't surprise me at all to see a vertical move in the short term here for Bitcoin Cash. And really all of this is happening because of an ABC correction. So if we take our Elliott wave tool, you can see we have wave A, wave B, and wave C. So that's a perfect ABC correction, and definitely one that I'm watching. And the reason I'm watching this ABC correction is whenever you see an ABC correction like this, it's generally a very strong signal that the market is going to turn around and start to see upside. A lot of the bigger players see a move like this and they say, hey, this is undervalued. We're on major support. We did an ABC correction. It's time to buy. So watch for more vertical movement and more upside as a result of this ABC correction on Bitcoin Cash. Now, if we zoom out a little bit here on Bitcoin Cash, it's really interesting to me that Bitcoin Cash looks a lot like early day Bitcoin. So we have Bitcoin over here on the right and Bitcoin Cash over here on the left. And you can see the same ABC correction structure, wave A, wave B, and wave C over here on Bitcoin that Bitcoin Cash is doing currently. Then we started to see a recovery over here on Bitcoin, and you can see the same recovery is starting to happen over here with Bitcoin Cash. So this kind of speaks more towards this idea that Bitcoin Cash will continue to break out on the smaller time frames like the daily or the weekly, whereas before we were way zoomed out on the 15-day candlesticks. Now we're looking at the daily and the weekly. And as you can see, the structure of this market really is set up for more upside, for more continuation of this uptrend that we started to develop in 2023 and 2024. Now, as Bitcoin broke out, the price got more and more vertical. It started off kind of slow, then it started to get really vertical as it continued to break above its local highs and make higher highs and higher lows. And Bitcoin Cash is really starting to do the same thing. First, it starts out kind of slow, but if we break above this local high at 627, and especially if we break above this local high at $724, then we can expect with confidence a lot more upside and a lot more vertical movement in this coin as it picks up momentum and speed. So the major resistance levels to be aware of for Bitcoin Cash are first right here at around $714. If we get above that level, it's going to start to go vertical in the same way that Bitcoin did over here. And the other area of resistance that we're looking at for Bitcoin Cash is around $1,600 per coin. If we get above that level, then we're really going to start to see a lot more vertical action coming in this coin. And the last and final resistance, major resistance for Bitcoin Cash is our old all-time high at $4,300 per coin. If we get above that, then we're going to see those higher extensions reached. Again, nobody knows what extension it's going to stop at. That's why the best thing to do is to scale out as it goes up, as it breaks above resistance, just slowly scale out of the market. But we do know that once we break above this level, price is going to go vertical. It's going to go really, really high and break out to those higher extensions and really see a lot of pure vertical FOMO and just super profitable green candles. So keep your eyes on the prize for this coin. A lot of people try to focus on the short term, but the best thing that you can do is zoom out, look at the bigger picture, pay attention to what's happening over the long term, study the cycle, and prepare for big profits in the big picture, because that's really where you're going to make the most money. This coin really is a sleeping giant. A lot of people don't realize just how undervalued Bitcoin Cash is and just how vertical the price can go in the bigger picture. Once you see a breakout of a major accumulation cycle or even the early signs of momentum picking up, it's crazy what can happen. A lot of times they just go straight vertical. As I've been saying, you will see a lot of just vertical action, not without corrections along the way up, but majority of the time it's going to be going vertical with huge green candles. So yeah, be ready for big things for Bitcoin Cash. Thank you guys so much for tuning into today's video. I love and appreciate every single one of you. If you enjoyed this video, make sure that you share it with your friends and apply for the one-on-one coaching. Link in the description box below. I'll hop on a phone call with you and talk a little bit about how one-on-one coaching can help you make money in these markets. Sometimes it can feel hard to make consistent money in the crypto markets. You might be buying highs or selling lows. You might even feel frustrated as random coins are going up 300, 400% and you're not even in them. So that's why I created the one-on-one coaching to help you guys make money easily and consistently in these markets. And so that you guys don't miss out on those profits as those coins are taking off, it really helps you make sure that you're in on the best projects and understand how the market works and how it moves. So yeah, thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you guys in future videos. And as always, stay profitable out there.